Hi guys, story recaps here. I am going to explain a 2019 Canadian supernatural horror drama film called In the Tall Grass. Please try to like or dislike the video, it is important to us. At the beginning of the film, two siblings, Becky and Cal, are seen in a car. They were going somewhere. On their way, Becky's health starts deteriorating. As a result, they have to stay in one place. At their one side was a field of tall grass. Becky hears a boy's voice from the grass field. And on the other hand, they also hear someone else's voice from the grass field, where the mother of that child is refusing to ask him for help. They park their car in front of the church, and both move into the tall grass field. Becky and Cal were acting strangely, so that they can help that child. Cal walks a long distance in this grass. Becky is left behind while calling the police. In this way, they both lose their path. As they step into the grass, supernatural events begin to happen. As they didn't find each other, they started calling each other's name. When they believe the voice is coming from close by, they realize they are a long distance apart. When they were calling each other from a long distance, so they were very close to each other. Becky now provides Cal an idea while speaking loudly. She recommends that we both jump together. That's how we can see each other. They both do the same thing now, and they also see each other while jumping. When they jump again, they are unable to see each other. It frightens them. While they were looking for each other, and now it's nighttime. In this dense grass, Becky encounters a man, who was the father of the child shown at the beginning of the film. The child's name is Tobin, and he is well known in the neighborhood. Becky tells the man about herself, how that boy requested their help, and how they both entered the field of grass. Now that darkness has fallen, neither of the siblings has found each other. Ross now tells Becky, "We should stick together. We may look for Cal while sticking together." On the other hand, Tobin comes to Cal. Do you know what Tobin was saying to Cal here? How easy it is to catch dead things in this grass field, because grass cannot penetrate the dead. But Cal was uninterested in his storyline. And, ignoring his explanation, he asks, "How did you get here?" Tobin now informs him, "Our family had visited the church." They were then listening to the sound of a man pleading for help from this grass field. He says, as they go into the grass, "We didn't get that man, and we were all separate from one another." Tobin, says Cal, "I know your sister Becky will die." Cal had felt odd when he heard it, because Tobin had not yet seen Becky. But till now, Cal had not told him anything about his sister. He inquires, "How do you know this?" Then Tobin says, "I was told this by a rock." And the grass told the rock about it, which is aware of everything. Cal was becoming disinterested in Tobin's entire story. As a result, Tobin guides Cal to that rock. Before Cal may touch that rock, he hears Becky's voice. After being perplexed, he continues his search for her. Meanwhile, another man is seen entering this grass field. He was Travis, the husband of Becky, who had come here in search of Cal and Becky. First and foremost, he encounters Tobin here, who says to him, "I know you're looking for Becky." He also informs him that Becky is no longer alive. He also takes him to the body of Becky. Travis feels heartbroken at discovering her death. And he still cries there, holding her jewelry. As the sun rises, Travis struggles to make his way out of the dense grass. But Travis was also having difficulty getting out of the grass field. Beyond the tall grass, Travis hears the sound of a child. And he asks that kid for help. This kid was referred to as Tobin in this context. Tobin's entire family had now stepped into the grass to save Travis. They can't find Travis here, and they're all divided from one another. Many days pass here, and the starting scene of the film is shown. It signifies that Becky and Cal have come to a halt here. And Tobin is pleading with them for protection. Tobin's mother, on the other hand, forbids Tobin from calling anyone. The film has become more difficult in this scene. Let's go over it. Actually, this film was created using a time cycle of repetition. And all of the characters in this film are stuck in a time loop. This time cycle is running because Tobin responded to Travis' call. And, at the voice of Tobin, Cal and Becky enter the grass field. However, it has been seen that Travis came here while looking for Becky in California, It denotes an intriguing time cycle that has been running throughout the film for a long time. Let's pick up where we left off, where Cal and Becky had stepped into this grass field. When they were both calling each other, Travis could hear their voices. And he tells each of them, "Continue speaking." As a result, the three of them meet and arrive at a location. Becky and Cal now question Travis, "What are you doing at this place?" Then Travis informs them both of you have been missing for the last 2 months. And I've come here looking for both of you. And this fact seems strange to them, because they had arrived 2 days before. And it was felt by Becky and Cal for this reason, because it was their second time cycle, which is still ongoing in this film. However, this time cycle continues to be a mystery to everyone. Despite the fact that the characters in this film are likewise unaware. They were all attempting to leave this grass field at this point. At the same time, they are listening to the voice of someone nearby. Travis forces him to sit on his shoulder, so he can guide them by keeping an eye out of the tall grass field. Tobin informs them about a building, and they begin to make their way towards the building. Becky receives a voice message on her cell phone at the same moment. Someone said in the message, "Don't let Cal hurt Travis. And don't let them make the same mistake twice." This message looks strange to the three of them. However, they begin to walk forward, ignoring the text message. Tall grass had begun to engulf Becky as they were about to come out of it. As a result, Becky loses consciousness there. Cal and Travis rush over to Becky. Meanwhile, Tobin's father comes up behind them, who informs Becky, as she regains consciousness, "I know how to get out of here." Simultaneously, Tobin informs his father that they have seen a building outside. They are also relocating to that building. Tobin tries to witness that building while sitting on his father's shoulder, but he does not notice any building there. They had all agreed to come out with Ross after seeing it. Instead of taking them outside, Ross brings them to a rock. And he continues to explain the benefits of touching this rock. Tobin's mother approaches as Cal is about to touch the rock. And she warns against touching that rock. She claims that Ross killed her here, and she's seen Becky dead here as well. They disagree with this lady because they believe she has gotten mentally ill as a result of her prolonged stay here. Meanwhile, Ross began to push them to touch the rock. Travis notices something odd as well, and he starts hitting Ross. During their fight, however, Travis is defeated by Ross. Travis maintains his bravery and asks others to escape from here. When everyone was about to leave as agreed with Travis, Ross crushes Tobin's mother's head. When they see it, they all panic and flee together. However, none of them were able to leave here. Then they notice a dog. After following that dog, they arrive at a desolate store on their way. It suggests they eventually made their way out of the tall grass field. When Travis and Cal were arguing in the store over something, they heard the voice of Ross outside. They have now rapidly moved to the store's rooftop. They were now looking for a way out of the tall grass. And they notice that the only way out is to walk through a field of thick grass. Then they notice a dog that leads them to this store. This dog had now reached across the grass, through the earth hole. After observing it, Travis is slipped from there. Cal once saves him. Then he intentionally releases his hand. As a result, Travis has collapsed. Tobin is observing Cal as he does this. Before this, Tobin clarifies or says something to him. They hear Ross' voice again, and Cal goes downstairs, taking both of them. After stepping downstairs, Tobin had stepped back into the tall grass. Cal and Becky had also walked to the tall grass field. It can be seen here that all of these actions are being conducted as a result of that mysterious message. This was received by Becky. According to this message, Cal had killed Travis. And Tobin has once again stepped into the grass, making the same mistake. Cal and Becky had also entered the tall grass field. Ross now captures Cal in the grass field. As Cal moves to the opposite side after being freed by Ross, Ross follows him there. And he was saying to Cal here, "No matter which direction you escape in this grass field, I'm confident I'll catch you." He then suffocates him to death. It is now clear that there are numerous dead bodies of Cal in the tall grass area. It signifies that Ross has killed him several times in the movie's portrayed time loop. Becky sees the grass men while fleeing away from them because she is scared of them. whose bodies were wrapped in grass. And those grass men transport Becky to the same rock where Ross had led them, carrying her. Becky was intending to have her baby near this rock, where there is a hole. It is also revealed that Becky had given birth several times. Becky now calls her from her cell phone. As a result, Becky may not return in the next time cycle. It means it was called by Becky herself and was taken from an unknown person. Becky had gone unconscious after calling it. As she regains her senses, she notices her brother Cal nearby, who was cradling Becky's baby. Seeing that had caused her to lose her senses once more. She notices after regaining her senses as Cal forces her to eat something. Cal informs Becky that he is forcing her to eat the grass. He was actually forcing her to eat her baby. At the same time, the Cal is changed to Ross. He was, in fact, Ross. Later, we notice Tobin and Travis. Tobin was saying to Travis, "My father will kill them again and again." The names Tobin and Travis were at the start of the time loop, where Tobin was teaching him stuff based on the time cycle. Tobin and Travis had arrived at the rock, where Ross starts hitting Travis hard. In addition, he was forcing his son to touch the rock. However, Becky kills Ross from behind. And Travis unintentionally touches that rock here. He'd started to feel uncomfortable after touching the rock. Ross passed away here. And Travis had discovered all of the grass's hidden paths after touching the rock. But a curse has descended on him, and he is unable to leave this field. So he passes Becky's necklace to Tobin, after he takes it off. And after instructing him the direction of the grass field to go outside, he says to him, "Wait for Cal and Becky to come out of the tall grass field. And then tell Becky the complete story while handing her this necklace. Don't let her into the field." In the final scene of the film, it is evident that the time loop is about to begin again. It signifies that Cal and Becky were on their way onto the grass field. Then Tobin catches a glimpse of them from the church. And he tells them the whole truth. Now they both refuse to walk into the field of tall grass because they have been convinced by Tobin. And Travis had died in a grass field. This scene wraps up the film. Subscribe and turn on the notification. You can also dislike or like the video to appreciate our hard work.